Well, I'm Eazy-E, I got women galore. You may have a lot of women, but I got much more. With my super duper group coming out to shoot. Eazy-E, homegirls, cold knocking the boots, cause I'm a...
What's up, VC? This is Brad from H2Vinyl. This is a contest video for Billy Hurst. He is up to 500 subs, actually beyond 500 subs. Billy, wow, congratulations. This is also a birthday video to you. Happy birthday, man. I know it's belated. I wished you a happy birthday in the comments. So this is an official happy birthday and congratulations for the 500 subs. Man, your 200 subs was one of my first videos. Probably like the 4th or 5th video I did. And man, it just seems like yesterday. So you're definitely doing something right. Keep it up. You have a great channel, and I enjoy everything that you do. I just was thinking I'd like to see more of your gear video though, especially those jukeboxes that you had. That's pretty cool, man. I'd like to see that stuff. Anyway, I've got both of my cats to my right here. Bato is snoring. Vidal, the Roomba, was running earlier tonight, so she's a little scared. He just is sleeping and snoring. I don't know if you can hear that. No, I'm probably not. Anyway, so I'm gonna try to do this in one take, but probably not gonna happen. I'm probably gonna have to edit this. But anyway, Billy, this song in the background's for you, because there's no one that I can think of more in the VC that appreciates Eazy-E as much as I do. And so this is his single, Easy Does It, one of his most popular songs. This is the radio edition. I bought this just this last month, actually just last week. Found that at our local record store and had to pick it up. I'm glad I'm putting it to good use. It's interesting, the radio version is actually one of the first renditions I heard. A friend of mine gave me a mixtape that another friend of his gave him, and I dubbed it and listened to it. That was pretty much my first introduction to Eazy-E. It's interesting. I used to think he was a woman just because of his voice, but anyway, I was what, 8th grade or something like that when that came out. So so this contest is 4 albums for your birth year, which is 1974, and then 4 albums of my birth year, which I'm a couple years behind you, 1976, and then for an extra bonus, show 4 of your favorite country albums. And I do need to admit, all of this was difficult for me because, one, I don't have a lot of country, and I don't listen to country that much. I do have some. I have more than 4. So I'm going to make that requirement. The other thing that was difficult is I don't listen to a lot of 70s music. If I have 70s music, especially for my year, I found, oh, this is 1975 or 1977. Like, I wanted to pick the soundtrack to Saturday Night Fever, 1977. I wanted to, well, anyway, I'll talk a little bit about that issue later. But anyway, let's get into the 1974. So I was originally picking all rock. It was having some difficulty, and I wouldn't necessarily say that they were all my favorite albums. And so I opened the genre to funk, to soul, to jazz, and then rock. Was able to find all for both years. And the first one I have is David Ruffin. I don't fully know this title of this album right off the top. Me and Rock and Roll Are Here to Stay. I just got done spinning this a little bit ago and just was reminded how much I love this. This is funk, soul, brother. Anyway, sorry, maybe I should edit some of this stuff out. But the first track, which is I Saw You When You Met Her, just a commanding track. I'm not going to do any needle drops. This video will probably be long enough. I'm talking about 12 albums, so I'm going to talk. The first... snoring in the background. Oh, wake up, buddy. The first track, just really commanding with the amount of just sound that's thrown at you. There's deep horns, there's brass, like trombones or baritones or tubas, and they almost sound like a freight ship or some great ship coming at you, but yet David Ruffin's voice is just so mellow, and so you have some good funk starting out, but then the next track and the next track and the next track just changes up enough style that it keeps it really interesting for me. I remember hearing, I got this in my third bulk buy, of like 1,200 albums in 2015. And when I put this on, I was like, what? This is definitely a keeper. So that is David Ruffin, 1974. The next one is jazz. And this is an artist that isn't mentioned in the vinyl community very often, but has a very kind of a close place to my heart because I've been listening to his stuff since high school. And this is Maynard Ferguson. This is his 1974 album, Chameleon. I wouldn't say that this is my favorite album by him, but I do like all of his stuff. Sometimes it's disco, sometimes it's, it's all jazz. But he's a trumpeter, and I'm a trumpeter, or at least used to be. And he played at my high school junior or senior, I think a junior year, and I saw him perform at the high school, and then he asked volunteers to go up and play jazz with him, and I was one of those people, and so I was able to learn the rudimentary of impromptu jazz. He basically said, play these notes in any order and just play along with us. And I want to say in my mind that I did amazingly. I don't think I did very good, but it was a lot of fun, and ever since that day I've been listening to his stuff. So this is Chameleon by Maynard Ferguson. One of my favorite artists that I've been enjoying collecting is David Bowie. Hadn't heard much of David Bowie's stuff until maybe a year ago. I'd heard of David Bowie. This is his 1974. I don't know why I'm saying the year. Anyway, Diamond Dogs. It's kind of funny that I relate to this album because I watched someone play through a video game, which is the video game was Metal Gear Solid 5. I saw this on YouTube. A guy was playing through it, and Hideo Kojima, who is the maker of that game, he was booted before the game was released, which sucked. But he was listening to a lot of David Bowie at the time, and so a lot of David Bowie made it into the video game Metal Gear Solid 5. Phantom Pain or Phantom Menace. No, it wasn't Phantom Menace. I think it was Phantom Pain. Anyway, love this album. This is probably one of my favorite albums by David Bowie. His greatest hits will be in here later. Spoiler alert. But The Man Who Sold the World is probably actually my favorite. But Diamond Dogs is a close second. Something very new to me, and I just got this maybe 2-3 weeks ago. This is a reissue of, again, 1974, Frank Zappa, Apostrophe. And if you're looking for a good copy of this, pick up this re-release. This was I think 2017 reissue, and it's done on Plus. I think it's the greatest pressing plant in the world. Others think that as well. And Apostrophe is absolutely incredible. I haven't listened to everything Frank Zappa, but what I've heard this and a couple other albums, and I wasn't that impressed with him, but this one I absolutely love. He's just wild, crazy, and zany. Every single song is just brings a new kind of attitude, and he definitely doesn't take himself too seriously. And so 1974, Frank Zappa's Apostrophe is the 4th album for your birth year, Billy, and now my birth year, 1976, and we're going to go with Boston, their debut album. This I also purchased in a bulk buy, my 3rd bulk buy, which was October 2015, and as I was going through them, listening to them, I'm still going through them. It's 2018 and I'm still going through them. This was one of the first albums that I played. I think I graded this. Yeah, it was probably around October 20th when I picked up, maybe 27th when I picked up the collection, and November 8th, 2015 was the time that I graded this. And a lot of hits on this, but it really grabbed my attention when Long Time came on, Foreplay and Long Time came on, because that portion, at least portion of the song, is very familiar with me, very familiar to me, and that is because Fatboy Slim remixed this on his, what year is this? 2002, which is his Big Beach Boutique number 2, and I'm a big fan of Fatboy Slim, and really familiar with this. He only took maybe 3 or 4 seconds of that song and just remixed it into something I love a lot. So this DVD and the CD I bought, for some reason I'm talking about these now. The CD is what I bought right when I first came here to Florida, and so that is good memory. And then those two, this DVD and CD, tie me to the Boston, which is significant because of those two things. I don't know if that made sense, but anyway, we're gonna go move on. So, like I said, I was having some difficulty finding 1976 albums. Apparently, I don't have very many in my collection, but I wanted to pick this, and on my little sticker here that has all my information, I said 1976, awesome. Well, this isn't 1976, this is 1975. So I can't count this. Wish I could. And then I was like, well, what was released in 1976 with Black Sabbath? This was. Not a big fan of this, so really can't count that. Anyway, wish I could count Black Sabbath, but thankfully I found other things. This is kind of a greatest hits of ELO. A lot of great hits on this. Kind of ties everything together. Favorite track on this is Evil Woman. Yeah, this is 1976, their greatest hits. And this was also from the third bulk buy. A lot of bulk buy, third bulk buy mentions here. And I had seen this group around in a a while digging through stuff, but didn't buy any of their stuff because I didn't know what they were. But this is Jethro Tull's Too Old to Rock and Roll, Too Young to Die. This is the first Jethro Tull album, and I wasn't really sure what I was supposed to expect on this. This is kind of like folk rock, and the only tie that I had with Jethro Tull was seeing Will Ferrell. Hey, Aqualung! Anyway, I absolutely love this because the beginning caught me off guard, and then it just started rocking, and I was like, wow, these guys rock. And I listened. I didn't only just like this enough that I just kept this copy. This copy, the cover is a little worn, damaged. I don't know if I'd call this very good like I did back in 2015, but the album's pretty good. But this wasn't good enough for me, and so I picked up the Record Store Day release. I think it was 2016 when that was released, and I don't know if this happens to anyone in the VC, but right now I'm not really sure where I put that. So I would show that, but I can't. But I do know I have it somewhere. Anyway, so that is my third, and my fourth of my birth year, 1976, is the greatest hits of David Bowie. And this is Changes, One Bowie. And of course, when I stop, he doesn't snore. But anyway, yeah, all of these, Ziggy Stardust, yeah, Diamond Dogs is on here as well, Space Oddity, Fame. Yeah, this is a great album. And I dig it. I think this was my second Bowie album that I got. The first one being the Record Store Day, I think it was 2015, of The Man Who Sold the World. And that was the first David Bowie I'd heard. So those are my four 1976, my birth year, entries. And now for country. Don Gibbons. This is from the first bulk buy that I bought. This was April of 2015. And Don Gibbons, I'd be a legend in my time. I don't know if I've actually listened to this a lot, but I do know that there are a lot of hits that I love on this. Oh Lonesome Me, Touch the Morning, Blue Blue Day are a few of the ones on this. And yeah, like this album and remember listening to it mid 2015 and really loved it. This one I'm very familiar with, and this is Kenny Rogers' Greatest Hits. My mom and dad both are big Kenny Rogers fans. This is not, I think my mom has this back in Iowa, my home state, and this is not her copy. I'll get that someday. But every single song on this list, Kenny Rogers has a lot of good hits. The Gambler, Lucille, Don't Fall in Love with a Dreamer. Just everything on this album is a hit. And that's why it's greatest hits. And so this is somewhat nostalgic for me. Just remember listening to this at home on my parents' turntable, which for some reason ran 10-15% slower than it should. But sometimes when I really want to feel nostalgic, I slow it down on my DJ turntable. Third one is Highwayman. This has Waylon Jennings, Willie Nelson, Johnny Cash, and Chris Christopherson. Jennings, Willie Nelson, and Johnny Cash are the ones that I really know. And I love just about anything Johnny Cash. And I love just about anything Willie Nelson as well. This is, I believe, a soundtrack. I don't know. This was, again, part of the first bulk buy that I did. And I think I got this for like 30 cents. And really enjoyed this album. Yeah, this is third one. And then the fourth one is Johnny Cash's Greatest Hits, Volume 1. This has a lot of great things. Ring of Fire, I Walk the Line. I love Johnny Cash's voice. It's very commanding. And I'm a big Johnny Cash fan. And so anytime that I see a Johnny Cash album, much like David Bowie and Jethro Tull and Maynard Ferguson, I pick it up, especially if it's a good price. And so this is the fourth country album that I have that I love. Billy Hurst. Again, congratulations, man. 500 subs, way to go. I am a long way from that one. Hope to be hitting 100 soon. We'll see, maybe within the next 2 or 3 weeks. Anyway, hope you're doing well. Hope you're enjoying all of these contest videos and celebrating your birthday, as it's your birthday weekend as I record this. And yeah, dude, hope you're doing well and listening to great vinyl. Yeah, look forward to many more videos in the future from you and our interaction. So yeah, I always do this. I always don't know how to end a video. So anyway, I'm just going to say goodbye. So have a great one, and we will talk to you next time.